Chapter 10. It doesn't feel as awkward as I thought it would, eating lunch at Dan and Louise's. The food is right up my street, tagliatelle with creamy sauce, and the baby, Grace, is grabbing pasta by the fistful and making a great mess in her high chair. Super cute. The house is lovely, but not super clean or fancy. By the time we have tea and cake in the lounge, I'm laughing at Dan's jokes and definitely not feeling like a clunky add-on into a well-established friendship group. In fact, this is actually something new and something nice. Meeting Michael's friends and getting to know them is surprisingly enjoyable, and being here together makes it all feel grown up somehow. It's so different to slouching around shopping malls with Jamie as a teenager or student drinks with George. "What's your role at the school?" Louise asks. "I work with learning support to help students with additional needs like dyslexia or autism," I explain. "I still teach English as well." "How do you find it, dating and working together?" She looks intrigued. "Well, it's a bit mixed," I admit, with a quick glance to make sure Michael's not listening. "There's always a lot going on in the week, so we just meet up at the weekend." "Like you're seeing each other all the time, but you're not really spending much time together," Louise suggests. "Yes, that's exactly right." I nod and take a sip of my tea. "Michael once signed me up to drive a rugby team to a sports fixture so that we could spend more time together." Louise snorts with laughter. "Bet he didn't do that again." I didn't see the funny side at the time, but now we're giggling about it. It's okay. "I've never known him to have a girlfriend," she says, once we've stopped laughing, "and I've known him for years now. I don't think he's had much practice with dating." "You're right there," I say, remembering his vow. "It isn't a bad thing," Louise says, "but it must be harder to adjust to a relationship when you've been single for a long time." I sigh. "When I was single, I just wanted someone to be there, someone to walk with, watch a movie with, sit on the sofa with, the little things. But I don't know if Michael can switch off long enough to be unscheduled and just be." Louise gives a sympathetic smile, then gives Grace a toy to chew on. "The start of a relationship is special though," she says. "Dan and I have a lot of time to hang out on the sofa, and we probably end up dozing off if we put a film on. We don't get much opportunity to go out on dates like we used to at the beginning." She's right. It's just the start, I remind myself. Plenty of time to reach all these milestones in my head. Even coming here today for lunch ticks off a stage on the relationship barometer. I still haven't met Michael's parents yet. That's going to be a watershed moment. "Thank you so much for a lovely meal." I hug Louise as we get ready to leave. "How about we cook for you next time? You can come to Michael's?" Michael looks a bit dazed. "That would be great," Dan says enthusiastically, giving an exaggerated thumbs up to Michael. "Great," Michael repeats, but I don't think he even heard what I said. "Are you okay?" I ask, once we're back in the car. He looks at me, and his eyes burn with sudden intensity. He opens his mouth but says nothing. "Thank you for coming," he says finally, turning back to start the engine. "Where are we going now?" I ask. "We've got a few hours before David's." "Fancy a walk?" He drives a short distance and parks up by the river. The sky is its usual heavy grey, but it's not raining. The air smells like fresh green leaves. I zip up my coat and Michael takes my hand, then leads me onto the path. The river feels slightly sunken into the ground with high banks on either side, the clay kind which creates a murky hue to the water. Whitlock is nicely hidden behind the trees and overgrown areas of the nature reserve. In summer there are wildflowers, but as it's November, there's only bracken. We amble along, and even though it's not particularly scenic, it feels exactly the sort of ordinary moment that I was telling Louise we never shared. It's not a Saturday to write a postcard about, but compared to the endless, empty weekends filled with dreary work, this is blissful. "I'm sorry if I dropped a bombshell earlier," Michael says, looking apologetic. "Oh yes, the chastity vow." "I'm glad you told me. It certainly explains a lot." "Does it make you want to find someone else?" He struggles to get the words out. "No. I'm slightly insulted he would even think that." I know this is all new for you. A lot of this is new for me too. There's no need to rush anything. How do you feel about meeting my parents? I guess no need to rush isn't in Michael's vocabulary. Besides, he's met my dad and sister already. I can't help feeling a prickle of elation and fear. The fact that he wants me to meet them must mean he's serious, right? On the other hand, Michael took a long time for me to get to know. He's very intimidating. Will his parents be the same? That would be great. I give a slightly forced grin. I was thinking we could stay at theirs next Saturday night, then go to church with them on Sunday morning. A few hours ago, I didn't even know that this was part of Michael's life. I suppose I can sit through it as a sort of spectator. It's not my sort of thing, and I don't want to be a hypocrite by pretending it is. Okay, I nod, aware that he's staring at me to gauge my reaction. I give what I hope is an encouraging smile. I'm looking forward to finding out more about your family. The cynical voice in my head is reminding me that this is going to make it even more painful if our relationship fails.